Hello everyone, I'm Beastly Eel, and in today's video we are going to be talking about the 2-episode series premiere of Daredevil Born Again. If you have not seen it, well, there are major spoilers ahead, so please make sure to pause this video, watch the 2 episodes, and then come back and see me. So this had the craziest 15-minute opening of a series ever, because we got all excited that everyone's back in the game. You know, we have Paige, we have Foggy, we know that the Punisher's going to be involved at some point. We also know Kingpin is going to play a major role in this. I believe we definitely saw Vanessa, and we knew Bullseye was going to be in it. So this episode starts off with the group celebrating just in general of cases in general, and also the retirement of one particular cop at the same time. So they're all dealing with what they need to deal with. They're at the bar having a good time. Foggy gets a phone call from his latest client, who's apparently stashed away in his apartment. That's when, you know, we have Matt, who can hear everything, heard the whole conversation, tells Paige about it. The two of them go outside to talk to Foggy, who Foggy then explains everything that's going on. They then know that somebody's attacking his witness, so that's when Matt dons on the Daredevil costume, and swings his way around to try to get to Foggy's apartment quickly. However, he finds out that that the guy didn't, whoever the assassin was, whoever it was, didn't care about the guy at all. He was looking for Foggy. So the thought process was he tortured the guy enough, granted I doubt very much, to get the information of where Foggy was. Then that's when Matt goes running towards it, and unfortunately, Foggy gets shot in the gut. That's when Matt Murdock, well, actually, I should say Daredevil, goes toe to toe against none other than the assassin Bullseye. So they begin to fight each other as hard as they can. They're fighting through the building. Daredevil is getting knives all over his body like you would not believe. He's smacking Bullseye around. All the while, we hear Foggy Nelson bleeding out slowly. We then have the cop who is retired heading up towards them as well. While that's all going on, they finally get to the roof. Daredevil hears that Foggy is dead, and then that's when Daredevil gets really mad, beats up Bullseye as hard as he can, and then finally just gets depressed enough where he just throws him off the building, and he lands pretty damn hard on the concrete. Honestly, I thought he was dead, and apparently Bullseye is not dead, but Foggy, well, Foggy is. So during this, we have the cop that's retired come up, who then realizes who Daredevil is. Because Matt takes off his mask. You know, Daredevil's unable to figure out what to do now, and that's how the 15 minutes ends. So we then have, months later, apparently Foggy, Matt, and this other woman teamed up to create a law firm together. Matt then, obviously Nelson is no longer a part of it because he had died, so his name has been stricken from the group for obvious reasons. Matt's trying to. Matt has given up the mantle of Daredevil because he went too far and went to kill Bullseye. Now, again, he didn't actually kill him, but the idea was he didn't care if he did die. So the idea was he did enough to want to end his life. We have a bunch of stuff going on. We have the court case, which Matt has to testify against Bullseye, explaining what was happening and everything else. We then see that Bullseye's obviously alive. That's a big thing. Let's talk about that. And the fact that we also have Kingpin trying to be the next mayor of New York. And apparently he's doing well in the polls. We also find out that Vanessa has taken over the crime organization that he created and has been making it thrive better than it ever had under his control. They're apparently having marital problems because the two of them rarely speak and rarely are seen together. And at the end of episode, so also we have Matt, who is tricked into going out on a date with a psychiatrist, who then they decide to continue to date each other even after the fact. So during one of their dates, I think it's their first proper date where they agreed to go together. They find out the news that Wilson Fisk has been elected the new mayor of New York. So then the next episode is of Daredevil. So Daredevil has not come back yet still. Um, it is still just Matt Murdock, and we also have a vigilante who is the White Tiger, who's also been in the mix for a little bit. Granted, not so long, but he's been in the mix of like the show from the beginning, in the sense of Daredevil Born Again. He's just been a background character. Well, the guy's outside of a suit where he sees these two guys beating up on another. He then breaks them up. He begins to fight the two of them. One of them tries to punch him. He moves out of the way. They fall into the subway area and they get smacked by the subway. That's when only after that do they identify themselves as police officers, or he's arrested for being a cop killer. So we have that going on. We then have Wilson Fisk trying to deal with doing stuff in the community. He's trying to get roads fixed immediately. He's also having to deal with the fact that his wife doesn't want to really talk with him at all. And he has a sit-down meeting with Matt Murdock, where the two of them begin to talk about what's going on and everything else, and how they both hope that they're on the right path now. It's a great exchange. I very much like that. But anyway, we go through all of that. We then also find out that Matt decides to take on the case of the White Tiger. Granted, he doesn't know he's the White Tiger at the time, but he knows that this guy wasn't a cop killer like everyone assumes he is. So he takes on the case. He has to deal with the court system, which is 100% against the White Tiger immediately. Um, he then gets it. So then they find out that he's the White Tiger. They're willing to go use that against them. That's when Matt makes it clear, like, no, they're going to just judge him for being a vigilante. When at this point in time, he was not donning on, he was being himself, and he was defending somebody. So his vigilantiness should not be part of this equation whatsoever. And he was able to be ruled for him. During that, Matt then finds out that. So he follows one of the cops that was the partner of the other cop that died. Follows him to find out that the witness that they have that was there at the time where White Tiger intervened. He goes over there, gets the guy out of there. He tells his cop friend, well, he's no longer a cop. He's the one that retired, that found out he was Daredevil, who's now working for him on the firm as a investigator. He calls him to take the guy to safety, and Matt deals with the cops. So the cops begin to beat him and everything else, and he just takes the beating, unwilling to do anything else. Up until one of them pulls out a gun and points it at him, he says, "Please don't do this. Please don't do this." And then right before they're getting ready to shoot him, Matt goes full on Daredevil while still not being Daredevil, beats the cops to a bloody pulp, and looks like he snaps and breaks one of the necks of the cops, the way he slams them down. And that's how that episode ends. We also know that because of Foggy's death, him and Paige have been on the outs together. They haven't spoken to each other much whatsoever. I just want to make that clear as well. So a lot happened in a short amount of time. I was not expecting them to kill one of them, one of the returning characters so quickly, but Foggy had to die immediately 15 minutes in. And then we had to deal with Daredevil being much more brutal than he has ever been in the series so far. Very curious to see where the rest of the series goes. I mean, this is going to, if this continues the way it's going, this is going to be an incredible season. So far, well done. They've introduced a lot of new characters. They've given us a little bit of indication of kind of what's been going on during the time of why they haven't really been doing much, or how come we don't know them, I guess, right now. So I'm very curious to see where the rest of that goes. But like I said, I thought this was a great two-episode premiere. Cannot wait to see the rest of the series. But let me know what you guys thought about these episodes down in the comments below. Did you like them? Did you not? And why? And as always, if you like the content you see, please make sure to like and subscribe down below. Other than that, this is going to be Beastly Eel signing out. Have a wonderful night. Bye-bye.